join us. Disrespected Media.
Hello and welcome to the Cannonballs podcast. I'm Michael Arace, your host from thedisrespected.com. And joining me today from The Athletic is Aaron Portzline, who recently rebooted his acclaimed podcast, Front and Nationwide. Porty, when did you get that up and going?
We have done 3 episodes now on video, which nobody needs to see this on video, but it is the way, and people like the YouTube. So we've had a couple of guests on. Just had Allison Lucan on, our
back
old friend, who is, of course, with the Seattle broadcast crew, talking Kraken, talking Blue Jackets. So yeah, it's good. It's fun. Lots of hockey to talk about too, Raj, right?
I know.
For all of us.
I love the 5 o'clock start, but
Yeah.
it takes you out of a certain rhythm. It's like I don't know. It's like Allison being in town. You know, because do you have time to sit down and talk with her? For me, it's John Forsland. It was like last night. I go like, there's no skate. You know, and you're going like,
Right.
oh, I forgot to call him. You know what I mean? That kind of thing. But that is certainly a first world problem.
Well, it's intense as hell right now. Just the rhythm of the schedule is just crazy. Like, I mean, I'm tired. I can't even imagine what the players and the coaches are feeling, you know? But I stuck around Nationwide last night to be a judge, well, a record keeper for the spelling bee. And as much as I love doing it, by the end of the night, I was like, I got to get out of here. Like,
yeah.
Get out of here. You're spending more time there than you do at home, which is never a good thing.
Well, it's kind of that time of year.
Right.
Covering, I don't know, my first, one of my first exposures to it was Big East tournaments. And I'll tell you what, holed up in Manhattan for a week around St. Patrick's Day.
Is there anything to do there, Mike?
It's not the worst thing in the world. Oh, that was a long time ago, though.
Yeah. You know what I love too is like you look outside and it's sunny. It's kind of nice. You're not really sure what to wear. You're like, the games are important. Like, yeah. This is what it's like. We got a little bit of this taste at the end of last year.
Yeah.
But we have not had this vibe in Columbus for too long.
Well, I haven't checked the standings this morning, Porty. It's a Saturday, the 21st of March, as we record this. Tonight, I should say this evening in the Nationwide Arena, the Blue Jackets will play the Krakens of Seattle. Can I make them plural, Porty? Sure, I can. Kraken are kind of in a similar position. I don't look at the West a lot, to be honest, but they're kind of in a similar position as the Jackets, trying to push to get in the playoffs there.
They're hanging around.
But anyway, I haven't looked at the standings today.
Well, last night was a night to take off if you're a Blue Jackets fan.
Yeah.
There was nothing to panic or stress about. It's probably not going to be like that too many nights. But yeah, last night was like Jersey and Washington, which, 2 weeks ago you would have thought that was a big game.
Right.
It didn't, you don't want to say it's over because it's not, but Washington kind of quit on themselves a little bit. New Jersey's faded. So last night was kind of an off night, but he ramps back up big time today. And then, of course, Columbus has the huge game Sunday in Long Island against the Islanders, who they just bumped out of the playoff spot in the East. So there should be a lot going there.
So Jackets holding on to third place in the Metro, 83 points, 25 regulation wins. And they are a point behind the Pittsburgh Penguins, 84 points with 29 regulation wins. Pretty interesting. I look up, and you kind of know what's going on in the background, but the Buffalo Sabres are going to win the Atlantic, maybe. They might have the best record in the East by the time this is all said and done. They've snuck past the Tampa Bay Lightning, and with 92, Carolina with 94 top the Metro, and then holding the wild cards right now. Actually, with 1 point more than the Blue Jackets, but such is the state of the Metro, where the Jackets are holding on third with 83 points. With 84 points in the 1 and 2 wild card positions are the Boston Bruins and Detroit Red Wings, and the Islanders just under the bar with 83. and they're a points percentage behind the Blue Jackets in the race for third place in the Metro. Anyway, it's easy to just look at the standings. Porty, every time I file, pretty much I put a screenshot of the NHL standings on the bottom, and then under that a picture of my refrigerator magnet with the schedule on it. You know what I mean? It's,
All right.
You can let folks figure it out for themselves. It gets to be headachy after a while.
Yeah.
I mean, incredible race. There were so many days, Aaron, when they're winning and making up no ground because everyone else is winning. You got 3-point games all over the place. You know, you and I sat here, it was about a month ago, and I said I think they're a playoff team, and you said I think they're a playoff team. And boy, there's nothing I've seen. I've only been encouraged by them rather than anything else.
Mike, I'm hearing people now say they could go to the conference final or the cup finals. They're just built that way, and nobody impresses me in the East. I'm going, whoa! Like
Yeah.
I don't necessarily disagree with that because I do think they've got some jam and they're starting to figure it out here. But there's still some hockey to be played. It looks like it's going to take 100 points to get in. Like
Yes.
it's going to take 100 points to get in.
Yes, it's reminiscent of 16-17.
Yeah, when they were at 108 points and finished third.
Right. I think
That's right.
I think 99 was the threshold for the wild card in 17. And yeah, the Jackets won 50 games, had 108 points, and finished third in the Metro.
And they've never finished higher than third in the Metro. So, you know what would be really novel? Home ice advantage in the first round. Could you imagine if they finish in that second spot, they're a point behind, they could host a first round series? Well, four of the potentially seven. You know?
Wow.
Yeah.
Just win another round. The town's so ready for it. You know, it's
Right.
been too long. You know, something else, and we're jumping all over the place here because I scripted none of this, and I'm catching Aaron between duties here. You know, he's got the spelling bee, he's got the front and nationwide, he's got the athletic, he's got to build up to subscribers for the old gray lady. He's a very, very busy person. And he's got, sometimes he has to rake the front lawn when the wind's howling at 50 miles an hour with 50 mile an hour gusts.
Bags. Wedding coming a year from May, so there's a lot going.
That's right.
Gray hairs are popping up. I got the dog sleeping at my feet right down here, so that's calm. Everything's cool with that. But
So what I'm getting to, Porty, is, well, I was going to ask you, it's just that since we're all over the place, something popped into my head, and it was Barry Brennan. And it's not to disparage, but it's been a little bit of a healthier ride for this club, has it not? And Barry, who's returned to the team, whom someone you know very well. I don't know, maybe somebody that we should be mentioning more.
yeah, Barry Brennan. And you know what's really cool is like I'm starting to hear people call him out unprovoked as being a difference maker for the organization. And this is a guy like he's got a job that's for many people is a dream job right now. But there were 3 or 4 years where that guy was driving back and forth 2 or 3 times a week from Ottawa to Syracuse because he was doing the Ottawa 67, so he'd made a commitment to, and he was doing the Blue Jackets AHL team when they were in Syracuse. Now, you've made that drive.
Yes.
Like, or something similar to it.
Yes.
That drive in the winter 2 or 3 times a week. It's insanity. Anyways, when Barry was moved along here, is that the house in? Might have been. He didn't give up. They're hard jobs to get in the NHL. He went to Russia, worked for Sergei Fedorov. You may have heard of him. And developed a really good relationship with Sergei Fedorov, such that when Sergei was inducted into the Hall of Fame, Barry was on his short list of people that he wanted there. Right? That's a pretty good recommendation if you're trying to get back in. So yeah, he's come in. I'm not even sure that he had enough time, given his hiring in late summer, to do everything he's wanted to do with this group. But so much of what those guys do now is during the season, especially with crazy schedules like this. So yeah, their injury list is Brendan Smith. And Brendan Smith, who had, I believe, knee surgery has been around the team this week on the bench
Really?
during practices. Yeah, just hanging out because he misses the guys and feels like he's a part of it. So that's cool.
That is cool. Um, okay, Aaron, how do you see this? No, how do you see this playing out down the stretch? It's I think what people want to know or are curious about, and that you have no idea about, nor do I, nor does nor does Nostradamus. I think what I'm asking is, given the way this team is playing, I suspect that it's sustainable. Let's talk about their style and whether they can carry this through right to the finish line.
Yeah. Well, I think what I like about him, and what I think gives me a little bit of hope for them to weather any sort of storms is I do think they've got incredible depth, almost too much depth up front. Like they're scratching Dmitry Voronkov's 17 goals. I think he still leads the team in power play goals, and he's
I
been a
think
healthy
so.
scratch for
Yeah.
5 games or 6 games now. I can't really argue with that decision either. The way Danton Heinen's absolutely flying and helping that fourth line. Miles Wood in the press box, right? So they've got better players in the press box now than they've had on the ice in previous years. And that depth, I think, really gives them a bit of a hedge, if you will, where if Fantilli and Marchenko aren't going, maybe that second line, which has developed a ton of chances, not so many goals, but Monahan with Garland and Johnson. What I think I like about this team is they have three lines that can score, and I'm saying that right after a game where the fourth line contributed two, and I'm not even counting them. But they
Right.
have three lines that can score, and I think they feel like they have three lines that can check just about anybody. Now they prefer the Coyle line against the other team's best, but that's not always possible, especially on the road. I think they feel okay with Fantilli on those guys. Better now than they did even 2 months ago. I think they feel okay with Jenner's line out there with Lundestrom on the wing. So they feel like they can check really well. And I love what Rick Bowness has said, that they're all different talents offensively. What he cares about is that they all look the same without the puck.
Yeah.
When they don't have
And
the
you got
puck,
anything?
everybody looks the same. And that's the sort of style. Like, we don't see them wading into games anymore, do we?
Right.
And I bitched about that for the first 50 games of the year. It seemed like they waited for the other team to dictate how this game was going to be played, and then they tried to match it. And they're not doing that now, even against a team like Carolina that you know what's coming.
Um, let's before we talk about Connor Garland, we should mention that this team doesn't go anywhere without Denton Mateychuck,
Of
who's
course. That's what I was thinking you were going to say.
uh,
10 goals, though, Mike.
Porty. There was it was Mark Scheig who floated this out on the Twitter X yesterday, and it said that the best pairs in terms of XGF percentage, X goals for percentage, 5-on-5, without the empty net, post Olympic break, number one in the league, Porty.
Provorov, Mateychuk.
That's correct.
Now, whose stats are those? Because he retweeted a stat service, probably.
Right. Porty, I didn't write that down. I just want you to know that Denton Mateychuk's carrying this team. Number two, Ian Cole and Oli Mata. Number three is Werenski and Severson. XGF percentage,
Yeah.
post Olympic break, 5-on-5 without empty
Yeah.
net.
So you're saying that the best pair in the league is the Mateychuk pair.
That's right. Well, what makes it work is Mateychuk can play his offside with Provorov,
Yeah, he's played it a lot.
which we should mention it too. He's a 12-year-old defenseman playing his offside on the best XGF percentage pair in the league.
Yeah, right? I mean, take that to the table in the summertime.
That's right.
Yeah.
That's right. So now I got my first ballot chatter off the table. Let's talk about Connor Garland. I think you mentioned the depth. I think another word that I would use is balance. You see that you can almost see the relief valves go off for guys like especially for Sean Monahan, who all we heard about pre trade deadline was we got to find a way to get Monahan's line going, right?
Get that second line up.
And Garland comes in, and you don't say that anymore. And it also balances the lines, Porty, and I mean that right down the spine. I think there's a lot less pressure on Fantilli, a lot less pressure on Monahan, and a lot less pressure on Charlie Coyle, who doesn't seem to feel pressure anyway. But I'm saying the onus of producing every night has fallen off once the lines have gained the balance, which they did quite effectively after the acquisition of Connor Garland at the trade deadline. Your comments?
Agreed, and I've noticed it in different ways. We've been celebrating, rightly so, the play of Adam Fantilli lately, and no one, when they're having that conversation, almost nobody's talking about his goals. It's the way that he's checked and he's defended. They're very, very balanced up front. Garland is another right shot too, which is a very subtle thing. From the outside, it can be a very large thing from the inside. That's one of the reasons they loved Coyle as a free agent so much, or as a trade so much, is they really needed a right-hand centerman for faceoffs. Helps them on the other side of the ice, which every other center was left-handed. Garland gives them a different look, and that second power play gets about 20 seconds per opportunity. Like, they're very late over the boards because that first unit stays out forever. But when you talk to the power play, look at the power play numbers when Charlie Coyle joined the power play, which was like 1 week before they changed coaches. I think it was January 6th or 7th that Coyle went in. Since then, it's like a top 5 unit in the NHL, the top unit is. And they think a lot of that is, Coyle's played extremely well. But when he is in the bumper or he is net front, you now have a left-right combination in those two spots, which open up Marchenko for a pass. It opens up the right shot for a touch pass or a shot. In other words, every pass from Marchenko in isn't being played off a backhand.
Yeah.
Right? And so that sort of variable, Haviland was great on this, has really unlocked a lot of things. The other thing, if you watch their power play now, you're like Marchment is either the net front guy or the bumper guy. Why the hell is he out on the point? And Werenski's down low, and here's Garland on the left side, and here's Marchenko above the right circle, and you're like, what is going on?
Right.
There's such a level of communication there that they can create what looks on the outside as chaos, but to them is a very structured idea of what they're trying to do. And like, the numbers are good. I think the numbers could be even a lot better because they're getting just unbelievable advances.
Oh,
And
just
I think
even
Garland helps that second unit, but you're right. He's breathed a ton of life into that group up front, and his energy is huge. Like,
it's amazing, and I'm sure people, with in Arizona and in Vancouver, that when they saw him every day, they'd say the same thing, and that is, how does that little bastard hang on to the puck? It's like, and yet he does. He's so good on the walls. He squirts out of every. When I wrote about him right after they acquired, did a longer piece on him, Porty, I leaned heavily on an old Athletic piece about him from like 2020, and it talked about. It was a really cool story. I forget the author. I think it was the former Coyotes writer for The Athletic. You guys got rid of some people in certain markets, and that person was one of them in the interim. But anyway, this article talked about how his father, who was a minor league player, when Garland was like a little kid or a teenager or something, employed the services of the captain of the 1980 U.S. Olympic figure skating team. And this guy showed him a whole different realm of edge work, and then he started building on it, and he taught him to stay low, how to move quick, and how to get up to speed immediately.
Yeah.
And you can see that with the exception of Denton Mateychuck, he's the best skater on the team.
I think he has the best tight space edges, tight curves. I almost tweeted this the other day, and then something happened crazy quick. But like, he's in a world of like Ford F-150s. He's got like the turning radius of a Prius. Like the way that he just like, whoa, like that's even at speed. He's a fantastic skater. And there's a couple different ways to look at. Denton Mateychuck is not a great speed skater, world class up the ice skater.
That's right.
But his ability to maneuver in tight spaces is really impressive.
And change direction. His edge work is what
100%.
we're saying. Yeah.
Yeah.
And Garland's the same thing. It's extraordinary to watch. The other thing too I noticed, and this was in that old Athletic piece, and it's something we've all took note of with Denton Mateychuck. He and Garland both. There's subtle fakes they have in their repertoire. You know,
Yeah.
there's some subtle fakes what George Matthew might call a shimmy shake, or other things that there's a great creativity and maestro-like quality to the way those two guys skate. It's fun to watch.
You know what else is I think interesting about Garland, and I've seen this just in the brief time he's been here. Not only does he piss off other players, opponents, I think he really, really enjoys it. I think he really, really enjoys getting them getting under their skin. There's a little Nathan Gerby there,
Yeah.
right? And there's certainly some Cam Atkinson there with the ability to shoot the puck.
Porter, are you making Napoleonic connection here?
Yeah, I think not only
As someone who's height challenged, I agree with that.
yeah, I think not only is I think he's proud. I think he wants to be what he is. I don't think he sees it as the liability that other people do. I think he
Yeah.
rather embraces it.
Right.
You really? That's what you think? Okay. Who was he fucking with the other night when Seth Jarvis? Just up in him, Jarvis, and it didn't look intentional, but Jarvis had had enough. He'd had enough,
Yeah.
and it wasn't. That's not a huge height disparity there, but
Well, I think.
He
Wait a
wasn't
minute. I
touching
think Seth Jarvis just hit someone else with his stick.
yeah,
Like
two
right
double
now.
minors. I don't know if I remember two double minors in the same game. It's going to get loud.
But Bella.
Speaking of small but fierce.
Oh,
That's
Porty. I
too,
don't
right?
know what did you have. You had Alice on the latest Front and Nationwide podcast.
Yeah. Yeah,
What's upcoming at the Athletic?
Well, we talked Mason
and the
Marchman.
pod.
Yeah, we talked Mason Marchman, who of course plays his first game against the Seattles, who traded him, and that's a weird thing because I get the sense talking to him that someone's not asking the question right, myself perhaps, but there's something there that he's wanting to say, and he's like, yeah, no, I'm not going to go there. I think he got along with his teammates well. It was not working there. I don't know if it was the system. I don't know what
Right.
it was. He's not going to say it. He said, that fond memory for him in Seattle is that his kid was born there. So he does have an attachment to the city, but he's not that different from Garland really in the sense that they both were having really rough years. And this new landing spot has been a breath of fresh air. But I do wonder, like, if you're Mason Marchman and you're like, I'm getting traded, he wanted out. Where am I going? Columbus. And you look at the standings, you go, oh God, like Jesus, like just bury me. And then he gets here, and boom, it's 2 weeks later, 3 weeks later, they change coaches, and it's just liftoff. Like his situation has changed dramatically. He's been a good ad.
You can almost date the turnaround starting under Evison upon the arrival of Mason Marchman, if you go back and look at their game by game. And look, I don't want to make a direct correlation. I'm just saying it's curious to note for you, that's all. Marchman's an interesting cat to me in that, generally speaking, there's never been a teammate that said anything but good things about Mason Marchman.
That's right.
Well liked in the locker room. That's his history, and that's as far as I know. That said, there are plenty of people in the league who think he's cheap and gutless.
That's right. That's right.
And there are certainly management and/or coaching teams that would gladly take that type of player because it does bring something different to the mix.
Yeah.
Does everyone need a Sean Avery? I don't know, but Marchman has a little bit of that in the game. What was the game last week when he took a cross check in the third period? Which game was that, Porty? I think it was
The Carolina? Who was before?
I think it was. Yeah, I think it was the Carolina game. He took a cross check in the third period, and he went. I mean, Porty, he went down like the Venezuelan president. It was like.
Hey, whoa, ripped from the headline.
Well, he's still alive, Porty, so I used that instead of JFK. But
yeah.
yes, he went down pretty quickly. Let's just say, and the Carolina was not happy. He was barking at him, and
Yeah. Yeah, he ends up in a conversation with the opposing bench a lot of nights.
yeah.
No doubt. But I was looking at this today, like who on this team has done anything in the postseason? Like they don't have a cup winner on the roster,
Right.
They got two guys that have made it to the Cup Finals. One and Marchman's made it to the Conference Finals. That's it. Right? So, I mean, he has gone deep twice with Dallas.
Right. 2 years in a row there.
So he knows how the game is played. I mean, he's an operator. As George Matthews, two quotes, would say, he's a shift disturber. Hey, why the hell hasn't George, 25-year anniversary of the franchise?
That's right.
Why the hell are George and Billy not dropping the puck for game one of the playoffs if there is such a thing?
I know. Let's do it here. What do we have in here today? We got Lyle Odeline, Rick Nash, Andrew Castles,
right.
Edward Tootin, and I'm missing one.
Jack Johnson.
And Jack Johnson, yeah. Always fun. Unfortunately, we couldn't arrange the same interviews with him today, or they couldn't do the podium things. I know you're going to talk to Odie during the game, Forty.
Before the game, yeah.
Yeah. He's. I encourage folks to go look for Aaron's Lyle Odeline piece that he did. What year was that, Aaron?
A good question. It was, God, my timeline has been a wreck for a while here. I want to say it was.
You look good though, Porty.
3 or 4 years ago.
It's a terrific piece.
Mikey was in life support.
Yeah.
In a coma.
Lyle Odeline.
Organ transplants. And basically the same procedure. And if I may be, what's the kind of raw about this? They left his abdominal cavity open in an air-sealed room. Germ-free room is a better word I'm not finding. To keep him alive. And the surgeon basically did one transplant, went, slept for 4 hours, ate something, got up, did the other transplant. Like, unbelievable.
That's Porty, you can relate to that in a little bit.
Oh my God, that story. That was almost 7 years ago.
Look for that, folks. 7 years ago. Porty, as usual, we'll wrap it up here. I know you got to get going. I got to get to the crew.
Former NHL star Lyle Odeline is a medical miracle.
It's a great piece, folks. Check it out. Always that piece always sticks out in my head, Porty. That one and the Panarin one, among others, that you wrote for The Athletic. So, folks, check it out. Aaron, as usual. Tim, you got anything for Porty?
Give me.
Tim's got nothing. Well, per usual, Porty, can you name me, and this is how we end every podcast, just name 3 books you're not reading and tell us how much you give Charlie Coyle in a free agent contract.
I love this, Ezra Klein. What am I not reading right now? I want to read Paper Girl, which I've heard is a wonderful book. For the
Bridget read it.
Yeah?
Yeah.
And?
Bridget, did you like Paper Girl? The book? She liked it okay.
Okay. Author of Dope Sick, native of Virginia, Ohio. Right. Yeah.
She liked it just fine, Porty.
Yeah, I want to read that. What would I give Charlie Coyle?
Yeah.
I would go 4 years.
4 years, how much per?
6.5.
I'd say I give him 7 if he wants it.
Yeah, I mean,
What the hell? What's he, 30? Timmy's shaking his head. What is he? He's 34
well,
years old.
yeah.
4 years, you buy him till he's 40. You get 2 years out of him at $7 million, and then
He's having the best season of his career.
If you don't think he's going to get 4 years on the open market, you're crazy.
well, Tim, what's he get on the open market? Timmy's point is let someone else pay for him. He's having a career year at age 34. You don't touch that.
What's Tim think as who will be a third line center for the Mighty Blue Jackets next year?
I think Tim thinks that he will be him or Nazem Kadri will be the third line center for the Jackets next year. I think
How much is Nazem Kadri going to get?
I don't know. He's a pending UFA, isn't he? Yeah. What do you give Kadri to? No, I'm just kidding. He's not a UFA. I'm just kidding about Kadri anyway. But Tim, I don't know. With the cap going up, these are contracts I do for players like that. That's me personally.
Yeah, I agree.
You know, I mean, Waddell has a reputation. He can lean cheap, which is why he fits into the front office of this organization. He's a steward of the bank account. The McConnells will write checks when asked.
Yes.
I think there's a good balance there between Pohops and GM and ownership. I don't know. I guess I'd pay him. I'm with you, Porty.
You know what I think we're going to learn here in the next couple of years is you're right. There is a reputation that Don Waddell is on the more conservative side in terms of the purse strings.
Yes.
I think we're going to learn if that is the case, or if he will only pay for certain things. In other words, if he kept Provorov, that wasn't cheap. That was not cheap, right?
Nope. Neither was Fabro.
Wood and Coyle, and they added some money to do it. That was not cheap,
right?
I think he will pay for. I think he has placed a value on certain things and will pay for it. But other things that he doesn't place that sort of value on, he's not going to I shouldn't say I think this. I think we're going to learn this. And we'll look at the Marchenko contract, which is going to be a doozy when that stuff goes up. Because he is really, really busting that right now. And here comes Fantilli charging 30 goals again.
You know, it's
making his argument for the table this summer.
Yeah, we'll leave on this note, Aaron. It's almost refreshing to not be talking about this stuff yet, and to have a playoff race, a really hot one to talk about, and for fans to be really encouraged about this team that's gone, 16-2-4 since January 11th. It's
is it 18-2-4?
Is it 16-2-4?
18-2-4, maybe.
Oh,
They won the last one under Dino.
What's that? Yeah, I know. That would be the 11th, the Utah game.
Yeah.
I put a bunch of numbers in my latest, not my latest weekly disc, but if you go to thedisrespected.com and look at the piece that ran on Friday, there's a lot of pretty cool numbers in there that basically I just ripped right out of these NHL game notes.
The numbers are amazing. I like this one too. They've got 4 players, Mike, that are averaging a point or more since Bonus took over per game.
It's
crazy stuff.
Yeah, they're on quite a heater. You know, the other thing too is, Porty, is like there's some other teams that are on quite a heater. You know.
Yeah. You know what's happened though? While we're looking at the dog right in front of you, is the whole pack of dogs up here has come closer together.
Right.
But what I think is going to be here over the next couple of weeks is they may go to bed at second place in the Metro and wake up as the second wild card some night.
Oh, it's going to be like that, sure.
It's going to be everywhere.
That's why I started this today. Where I was like, geez, I haven't looked at the standings today. Are they still 1, 2, 3? Or are they 1, 2? Or are they 3, 4? You know what I mean? It's like,
yeah. And today will be nuts.
Today will be nuts. So that's it for this edition of the Cannon Fodder podcast. I'm Michael Arace from thedisrespected.com. Please visit my website and subscribe. I'm very cheap. As far as the podcast, the Cannonballs, and the Crucible, which is crew related, watch them, like, subscribe, share, rate, and review. It helps out a lot, especially the thumbs ups and the reviews, I think. Or I don't know. I have a new YouTube channel as well. You can find, if you Google my name and do a search at The Disrespected at YouTube. That's Aaron Portzline there from The Athletic, the mayor of Jacketville, also the host of his own Jackets-related podcast, the newly reborn Front and Nationwide. And there was a reunion on the latest episode with Allison Lucan, who really made that show go, if you ask me.
No question.
No one asked me, but if you ask me,
no question. You didn't even see it, but no question.
All right. That's it. Porty, thanks for joining us. Let's do it again soon. I'll see you tonight.
Peace.
All right, peace out. Give it 1 second here, Porty Weller.